Welcome back to So You Really Want to Learn Latin, and today we are going to be carrying on with our history of Rome from the earliest days. And today we're going to be looking first of all at the Samnites, a bunch of aggressive Latin people in the south of Italy, and then we're going to move on and look at a little fellow called Pyrrhus. So the Samnites, the Romans had 3 wars against the Samnites during this period when they were trying to establish dominance over the whole of Italy. In the first Samnite War, which started in 343 BC, the Romans helped the city of Capua drive the Samnites out of Campania, that's the region around Capua, and they were successful in doing that. Some years later, in the Second Samnite War, which began in 327 BC, again, the Romans went to war against the Samnite people, and apart from one little mishap, when they fell into an ambush called the Caudine Forks, and they suffered this terrible humiliation, apart from that, and there is actually a little passage in the Latin course called Exercise 5.9 where the story of the Caudine Forks is told in Latin. We might have a look at that later. Apart from that, all went well and the Samnites were kicked out again. And finally, in 298 BC, the Romans went to war again for a third time with the Samnites, and this time they nailed it. So the Samnites ceased to be a problem for the Romans, who by now really are establishing dominance over what we think of as Italy, which to them was really just the Italian peninsula. Now, not everyone in said Italian peninsula was quite as keen on having the Romans as dominant as the Romans were. Now, for example, the people of Tarentum, they didn't like it at all. And so, in about 280 BC, the people of Tarentum sent a message to the Greek King Pyrrhus of Epirus saying that they wanted help against these troublesome Romans. Now, Pyrrhus was a bit of a nutter. He thought he was descended from the Greek hero Achilles, and he obviously had sort of delusions of grandeur. Anyway, he thought, great, I'm going to go and help these people in Tarentum. And so he set off at the head of an army with no less than 20 elephants. Now, he suffered a bit of a disaster on the way over. He lost a whole load of ships in a storm, but eventually he arrived safely in Italy and pitched camp at a place called Heraclea, where he waited for the Romans. And in due course there was a battle, the Battle of Heraclea, which Pyrrhus won. But in the process of winning it, he lost so many of his own soldiers that he famously said that if he had any more victories like this one, he would end up having to go back home to Greece alone. Now, the Romans sent ambassadors to Pyrrhus after the battle to try and sue for peace. And the fellow they sent was an impoverished general called Fabricius. Now, Fabricius, he was poor, but he was honourable. And Pyrrhus was enormously impressed when he tried to bribe Fabricius to betray the Romans with an enormous bribe, which would have made Fabricius extremely rich, but Fabricius refused. Pyrrhus, impressed, but he didn't give up there, so he thought he'd try and frighten Fabricius. So he had one of his elephants hidden behind a curtain, and he called Fabricius into a meeting and then revealed the elephant by drawing back the curtain, hoping to frighten Fabricius into submission. But Fabricius was not frightened into submission. So he couldn't be frightened by elephants and he couldn't be bribed with money. Now, the next year, Fabricius received a letter from King Pyrrhus's doctor. And in that letter, Pyrrhus's doctor offered to poison King Pyrrhus in return for a sum of money. Well, Fabricius didn't have the sum of money, but even if he did have, as we know, he was an honourable man. So he immediately wrote to King Pyrrhus, warning him of the treachery of his doctor. Now, soon after this, again, Pyrrhus went into battle against the Romans at the Battle of Asculum, and in this battle, again, Pyrrhus was victorious. But his army was so badly decimated during the victory that he famously said, "If we defeat the Romans one more time, we will be completely destroyed." And this, of course, is the origin of the term a Pyrrhic victory. A victory where, although you win, you suffer enormous losses on the way. After this, Pyrrhus thought enough is enough, and he went back to Greece, and Rome was left in total control of Italy. Okay, that's enough about these mad Romans for now. See you very soon back on this channel for more Latin. Do subscribe to this channel for updates on Roman history and Latin, and I'll see you very soon.